Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'll be sharing with you how to unleash your potential using parallel realities. Now, parallel realities and understanding this idea can have a very powerful effect on the kind of experiences that we have. Now, when we realize that based upon who we're being in the present moment is determining which parallel reality that we shift to. Now understand, and I've done some videos on this idea before, but with parallel realities, the general basis is that the only moment that exists is this moment right now. That based upon who we're being in the present moment, the self-image that we have, the beliefs about who we are, the state of being that we're in, that's what's shifting us to the probable realities that we will experience. Now, because the only moment that does exist is this moment right now, the idea is that what we think of as motion is really the shifting between these different parallel realities. It just happens so fluidly, and because we have memory, we're able to tag each individual reality onto the other. Now realize that there's a certain momentum that's going based upon who we have been, but when we change ourselves from the inside out, we then increase the probabilities of having a new type of experience. Now I talk in one of my videos about how to manifest the parallel reality that you want by simply being the kind of person that you prefer to be, by realizing that the more you imagine and know that the reality exists right now of you doing what you want for a living, of you existing in that frame, that state of being, and living with all the kind of experiences that you want to have, when you realize that it already exists and you can imagine it, you can then begin to mirror that reality of how you would have to be. And the more that you shift your beliefs to that version of you's beliefs, the thoughts that you would be having, the kind of habits that you would have, the kind of things that you would be doing, the kind of way you would be interacting with other people, as you imagine these things, you are syncing yourself up with that version of you and making that more of who you are in the present moment. Now, the idea is that the more you act in this way, the more you will begin to see the reflection on your external reality. Now, realize first off, there's a certain momentum that's happened from the prior way that we've been, and that when we change, there might be an echo of our past self. But when we really begin to become the person that we prefer to be, and we don't need the external to reflect that change back to us for us to feel that way, that's when the true change begins to happen, because it's a paradox. When we don't need the external to change and we simply choose to be in that state of being, that's when the external reality will really begin to change. Now, unleashing our true potential is by realizing that right now in the present moment, you living the kind of life that you prefer to live, that probable reality already exists. It's simply a matter of making a decision about who you are. Now, there are many different abilities that you could have, many different skill sets that you have. And when you simply make a decision that you're going to develop those skill sets, that's when you'll start to move in that direction. Now, maybe me for example, me making videos and wanting to become a better speaker, wanting to become somebody that can share ideas that resonate with other people, me being able to be in a really good energy state that's more contagious. The only way I do that is by making a decision that I'm going to learn with every video how to do that better. That I'm going to decide simply that that version of myself that I imagine is who I am in the present moment. And the more that I embody that, the more I have that intention, and the more that I have that decision that that's who I am, the more that I embody it and the more that I shift to those probable realities. So ask yourself the question right now, who do you prefer to be? And when you imagine the perfect version of yourself, what kind of abilities does that version of yourself have? Now, the simple decision to develop those talents, to develop those skill sets, are what's going to determine and shift yourself to that. It's a simple decision. There are realities where you are an amazing swimmer, where you are an amazing artist or music producer, or anything you can possibly imagine. Those probable realities exist. Now, it's simply a matter of making a decision that you're going to develop those skill sets, that you're going to develop that kind of potential. And in order to do so, simply make the decision to do so? Are there certain definitions holding you back from experiencing that? Of saying that I can't experience this because of X or because of Y. When you start to see those definitions come up, you can see that they no longer serve you, and that instead you're going to put in place of that what you prefer to believe about yourself. Become aware of the autopilot mind, of the old echo of the self that we were. And when you become aware of it, you can simply choose that it no longer has to determine the kind of experiences that you have. This is simply about the awareness that all the probable realities exist based upon how and who we're being in the present moment, that when we make a decision about who we are, we simply choose that in this present moment now, we are going to embody the perfect version of ourselves. That's then going to increase the probabilities of us experiencing what we want, and it all comes from a simple decision, but also the awareness of who you are. You are much more vast than you priorly thought that you were. There's an infinite number of probabilities that you can experience, and based upon which ones are relevant for your learning experience, which ones are relevant for you becoming the best you can possibly be, that's going to determine the kind of experiences that you have. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. All right, bye.